Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a whole week since we met and talked to each other. So I hope you're not feeling hurt. Yeah, that's the topic today. Learning to understand what is hurt-free intimacy. Okay. Now, as we all know, within each of us, there is a storehouse, a big storehouse of remembered hurts, some obvious, some very subtle ones. And these hurts, they're not limited to romantic relationships. They shape our intimacy with ourselves, with others, with our work, with our spirit, and even with society. When our expectations are unmet, words are misunderstood, or somebody's presence is no longer there, withdrawn, not mean no longer there, but withdrawn. What does the mind do? The mind starts recording pain as a protective memory. Over time, intimacy itself begins to feel unsafe. Yeah. So, what happens? We then confuse closeness with vulnerability and vulnerability with hurt. So, in Redikall, what does Redikall tell us? Redikall reminds us that awareness and not withdrawal is the pathway to set yourself mentally, emotionally, physically free. Hurt does not need to be denied or dramatized. It needs to be recognized, resolved, and released so that intimacy can continue without fear. I hope you all can understand and relate to this because the subtle understanding of hurt with intimacy of all kinds is very important. For example, with yourself, you silence your own needs. You keep telling yourself, I should be stronger. And in the process, you store all the hurts as self-judgment. Your intimacy with yourself breaks when your own inner honesty feels unsafe. So you get into the habit of judging yourself so much that after some time, all the doubts, all the threats, all the emotional outbursts or breakdowns take over. So your own intimacy with yourself to understand, release that fear or that, be aware of it is lost. Please excuse my voice today. I have a sore throat, so maybe you'll be hearing a variety of noises coming from my throat, right? So as we were talking of examples, let's say with your loved ones, after being repeatedly misunderstood, you emotionally withdraw while staying physically present. Have you experienced it in your own life? There will be so many situations with your family, with your spouse, with your relatives, with your in-laws, with your friends, that you feel you're being repeatedly misunderstood and you emotionally withdraw, though you're present for everything around. What are you doing? You're creating a distance without conflict, but also without closeness. And the more it keeps building up inside you, the more maybe even a small misunderstanding or something that you interpreted in your own way, but maybe it was your perception that starts creating distance, and that distance becomes so large that you may be thinking of that relationship. Or maybe the hurt becomes so strong that you have that constant feeling of anger and rage inside you because you did not apply your wisdom and awareness, maybe, right? So let's say at work. At work, somebody's backstabbing or betrayal or lack of recognition for what you do leads you either to two things. Either you start overperforming without trusting anyone else's support or collaboration, and in that process, you mistake your independence as a shield of protection. I can do it myself. I don't need anybody. I'm not going to ask anybody because I can do it. And sometimes in that pressure, you create so many, even physical problems for yourself, maybe stress related, maybe blood pressure related, maybe anger related. So many other issues can come up because you felt unrecognized, or you felt betrayed, or you felt backstabbed. So what happens? Either that job becomes too stressful for you, or you start thinking that you're not valued or you're devalued, and then you want to run away from there. Maybe look for another change, and maybe the next one proves equally unfair to you because somewhere you allowed yourself to feel betrayed. Somewhere you felt less than others, so you could not be recognized. And somewhere you felt that you're being overruled. And that continues. It can happen, right? Now, let's say, what about your experience with the divine or life itself? Painful experiences that you may have had, or some traumas related to your loved ones or your own faith happens. What happens then? You start questioning your faith or your destiny. You become bitter and you create a guarded, conditional relationship with the unseen. If you do this for me, only then I will believe you exist. You start a barter system. In life itself, you start a barter system, not realizing that our soul chose these experiences. And if we are here and going through certain, let's say, challenges in our lives, we have invited them. And it is up to us not to make it conditional with our own lives. Right? But we do it. So we create a guarded, conditional relationship with the unknown or with the divine or with life itself. Unless something changes for me, I'm not going to do anything. Why should I make that effort? What's the point? What good is it going to bring to me? The universe doesn't listen. God is not listening to me. He's keeping me in constant pain or in constant anguish. We do not see the brilliance in things that are happening around us. And in the process, we lose ourselves. But why do we hold on to these hurts? We hold on to hurt because it feels like control. Think about that. Hurt becomes proof of experience. It becomes a shield against repetition. I survived because I stayed guarded. I could go through life because I choose to do it alone. But you're not looking at all the hurts and the pain and the anger and the emotional turmoil and everything that has been there part of you. Yet, what once protected us, remember, it can imprison you for life. Haven't you met people or known people in your circles who seem to be constantly bitter, who seem to be constantly talking, in kind of, uh, how do you call it? Not challenges or taunts to you. How would you know? You have not been through this. How would you understand? You are lucky. You don't have to go through it. You are this, you are that. Don't we do that? Ask yourselves honestly. Or don't you meet people like this who say this to you? What do you do immediately? You either withdraw or you feel shit. What's the point of talking to them? They don't understand. Right? So, what is Radical telling you? Radical tells you that to see that persistence does not require pain. Persistence in everything that you have to experience or walk through in life. Yes, at that moment it may be painful, but then you can rise above that pain, see the brilliance in that pain, and move on. And intimacy does not require suffering, it requires your wisdom. Yeah. I hope this is understood by you. Just give me a thumbs up that I feel that yes, it is something that resonates with you. Okay. All right. Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. So now just take a comfortable position. Just make yourself totally comfortable. Allow your spine to be naturally upright and gently close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breath. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. And with every breath, allow your body to relax and soften. Just relax. Feel your shoulders relaxing, your neck not so stiff, your body feeling at ease, your legs and feet also very relaxed. There is nothing to fix, nothing to achieve. Just be in the awareness here and now. Within each of us, there are experiences of hurt. Some are remembered clearly, some are stored quietly in the body, and some are passed down, borrowed, or learned. These hurts may have shaped how close we allow others, how close we allow ourselves, and how close we allow life. Today, we are not here to relive the hurt. We are here to recognize, resolve, and release so that intimacy can flow gently and freely. Inhale Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Invoke your healing masters, healing guides, healing angels, your higher consciousness, radical consciousness, love consciousness, prosperity consciousness, your teachers, mentors, gurus, and guides. Seek their support, seek their alliance, seek their partnership, seek their understanding to keep guiding you and helping you travel life's journey, understanding that letting go of hurt will not hurt us as you continue to connect to the eternal consciousness and the prime resource energy. Collect all your personal thoughts and emotions wherever they are in the universe. See them centering you, entering you. And when you feel centered, notice where your body holds emotional distance. It may be in the chest, maybe in the throat, in the shoulders, or in the belly. Simply notice without judgment, because this awareness is already a shift. I will read each statement slowly. You may repeat it softly or say it within yourself. Allow the words to reach beyond the mind, into the body, into your memory, and into your awareness. I find my need to constantly permit intimacy in a hurt-free manner. I find my need to constantly permit intimacy in a hurt-free manner. I find my need to constantly permit intimacy in a hurt-free manner. IR5, my constant need to thrive by recognizing and resolving emotional hurt in favor of close bonding. IR5, my constant need to thrive by recognizing and resolving emotional hurt in favor of close bonding. IR5, my constant need to thrive by recognizing and resolving emotional hurt in favor of close bonding. IR5, my constant association of growth and progress with being hurt IR5, my constant association of growth and progress with being hurt. IR5, my constant association of growth and progress with being hurt. IR5, the guilt of not recognizing and resolving emotional hurt. IR5, my guilt of not recognizing and resolving my emotional hurt. IR5, my guilt of not recognizing and resolving my emotional hurt. IR5, my need to forgive myself for holding on to hurt in intimate bonds. IR5, my need to forgive myself for holding on to hurt in intimate bonds. IR5, my need to forgive myself for holding on to hurt in intimate bonds. IR5, my fear of being offended or hurt again if I choose closeness. IR5, my fear of being offended or hurt again if I choose closeness. IR5, my fear of being offended or hurt again if I choose closeness. IR5, my compulsive need to maintain distance to feel safe in relationships. IR5, my compulsive need to maintain distance to feel safe in relationships. IR5, my compulsive need to maintain distance to feel safe in relationships. IR5, my compulsive need to maintain distance to feel safe in relationships. IR5, my ancestral, past, or borrowed beliefs that relate intimacy with pain. IR5, my ancestral, past, or borrowed beliefs that relate intimacy with pain. IR5, my ancestral, past, or borrowed beliefs that relate intimacy with pain. IR5, my habit of expecting hurt before intimacy even begins. IR5, my habit of expecting hurt before intimacy even begins. IR5, my habit of expecting hurt before intimacy even begins. IR5, my resistance to gentle, continuous, and aware closeness. IR5, my resistance to gentle, continuous, and aware closeness. IR5, my resistance to gentle, continuous, and aware closeness. IR5, my belief that emotional shield is necessary for survival. I archive my belief that emotional shield is necessary for survival. I archive my belief that emotional shield is necessary for survival. I archive my tendency to withdraw instead of resolving discomfort. I archive my tendency to withdraw instead of resolving discomfort. I archive my tendency to withdraw instead of resolving discomfort. I archive my stored memories that replay hurt during moments of closeness. I archive my stored memories that replay hurt during moments of closeness. I archive my stored memories that replay hurt during moments of closeness. I archive my fear of being seen fully and honestly. I archive my fear of being seen fully and honestly. I archive my fear of being seen fully and honestly. I archive my attachment to emotional distancing as a form of control. I archive my attachment to emotional distancing as a form of control. I archive my attachment to emotional distancing as a form of control. I archive my confusion between boundaries and walls. I archive my confusion between boundaries and walls. I archive my confusion between boundaries and walls. I archive my belief that forgiveness makes me weak. I archive my belief that forgiveness makes me weak. I archive my belief that forgiveness makes me weak. I archive my hesitation to trust intimacy with self, others, and life. I archive my hesitation to trust intimacy with self, others, and life. I archive my hesitation to trust intimacy with self, others, and life. I archive my unconscious choice of loneliness over possible hurt. I archive my unconscious choice of loneliness over possible hurt. I archive my unconscious choice of loneliness over possible hurt. I archive my habit of reliving pain instead of learning from it. I archive my habit of reliving pain instead of learning from it. I archive my habit of reliving pain instead of learning from it. I find my need to brace myself emotionally before connecting. I find my need to brace myself emotionally before connecting. I find my need to brace myself emotionally before connecting. I find my identification with hurt as a measure of death. I find my identification with hurt as a measure of death. I find my identification with hurt as a measure of death. I find my fear of ease, softness, and unguarded presence. I find my fear of ease, softness, and unguarded presence. I find my fear of ease, softness, and unguarded presence. I find my willingness to allow continuous, aware, hurt-free intimacy. I find my willingness to allow continuous, aware, and hurt-free intimacy. I find my willingness to allow continuous, aware, and hurt-free intimacy. Notice your breath now. Notice your body. Sense the space where effort once existed. You may feel lighter or simply quieter. Both are signs of integration. Hurt no longer needs to be stored. Awareness is enough. Sense and feel these affirmations filling up every part of your body, cell, muscle, tissue, organs, and every chakra. Feel that sense of alignment and synchronization where wisdom leads you to understand that hurt is not the ultimate, and intimacy with life does not need hurt as a pattern. And when you have felt it, just say to yourself with intention, I find my commitment to live each day in aware, continuous, and hurt-free intimacy. I find my commitment to live each day in aware, continuous, hurt-free intimacy with myself, with others, and with life. I find my commitment to live each day in aware, continuous, and hurt-free intimacy with myself, with others, and with life. Bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes. Rub your palms together. Massage your face, your scalp, your body, your legs. Feel yourself connected to Mother Earth. And when you feel a sense of absolute synchronization and alignment, take another deep breath and you can open your eyes. Any thoughts, any questions, any feelings, any emotions, any reactions, any experiences that you'd like to share?
Ma'am, every word resonated so well.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, that's easy, no? Just to live life in a hurt-free manner. And every
No, I feel very light now because I told you that I went to some dark room meditation and the recitation, it is like whatever.
wonderful. Awesome. Yes, Nigda?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So, this is something I think I've stored emotional hurt for so long and been so scared to open up to relationships. And
Okay.
with Radical, it has slowly been opening. And
Right.
just this morning, something happened where someone got hurt, and I could see myself trying to wall up and not wanting to wall up at the same time. So I think this is so in line. I understand so much.
Right.
I'm just going to go give that person a hug and say I'm here. Thank you
Wonderful.
so much, ma'am.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So the universe takes care of all our emotions. It's for us to see it and not wall up
Yes, ma'am.
against the divine and the universe too. They keep sending us signals. We have to be
Yes, ma'am.
very cautious about our perceptions and not let them cloud us and not allow them to build walls around us. Yeah, wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Snigdha.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to share something?
Hi, Aarti.
I
Thank you
start.
so much. This thing about hurt is, I mean, all of us have experienced it so much.
Yeah,
And I think with age, I have found that I don't take things so personally anymore
yeah,
because most often it is really not about us at all.
yeah.
You know, it's hard to let go, but I think we learn with time. And this recitation was very timely and helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sagari. You made a very valid point that with age, we start understanding, and knowing that all these things are not necessary. But that is what Radical is trying to tell us, that no matter what the age, it took us a lifetime to get where we are today. But for others who may be in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it is easier for them to, sort of still make the rest of their lives simpler, easier, and, work and walk on it in an effortless manner when we allow all these aspects that are part of our lives or that are ingrained in us, whether because of belief systems or past, experiences or ancestral. We should all learn to let them go so that we live a life which is meant for us and enjoy the life that is meant for us in the manner it is meant for us. So thank you, Sagari, for this input. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Oh, definitely. I think those ladies who have come in earlier into Radical are definitely benefiting much more. And I would say since Radical came in, I now have a way of letting go of things which may not have been so easy earlier.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
agree with you totally. Thank you, Sagari.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to add something? Okay. Thank you very much. Sorry if my voice was not clear today, but again, see you tomorrow for lucid reading. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am.